Life is a winding road, no telling where it goes. Driving through days and nights, won't stop for traffic lights. And I really wanna know, if I will ever figure out where the road goes. Even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs. You can say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high, even if the sky is falling down.
Hi, I'm Becky Cantrell, and I'm the division coordinator for lamb and goat. I want you to know my phone number is on the website. If you ever need to call or have questions, please do so. I want to go through a couple of really important rules that you need to really focus on. Otherwise, I expect for you to read all of the rules of your show and all the general rules for the youth fair itself. General rules as well. And I think it would be a good idea for you to have your parents do the same so that they'll know those rules as well. It really helps whenever we get to the show that everyone is on the same page. I want to remind you that everyone involved in these shows are volunteers. And we're not paid. We do this out of the goodness of our heart because we really enjoy watching you guys thrive and do well every year. And this show has continued to do very, very well. And it's because each of you have learned from it and we learn from it. And each year we try to get better. So just keep that in mind so that you'll know every year we're trying to improve the show and we learn from our mistakes, and hopefully you do as well. A couple of really important things. Our initial weigh-in is October 29th. And that's from 4 to 6:30. That is for market animals. So you'll bring your goat or your lamb through. It's a pretty quick process. We put an ear tag in them and we weigh them and we make some suggestions. We'll even have wormer on hand in case you need them. You must accompany your animal. It's your project. You must accompany your animal at the final weigh-in. The initial weigh-in, I would like for you to be there so that you can hear our comments and understand maybe some things that can help you. But the final weigh-in, it's absolutely mandatory. And that will go for both chapter animals and for your individual animals as well. All market animals, all breeding animals, you must accompany your animal when you come to the weigh-in. And we will ask your name, and we are going to check their ear tag, and we're going to check their tattoos, and then you can go across the scale and put them in your stall. So it's very important that you accompany them. If you have any reason why you cannot accompany them, please call myself or Sarah a couple of days ahead of time so that we can help make that happen if we can, if it's a legitimate reason. But otherwise, it's mandatory for you to bring them. Okay, so a couple other things. There are no horns allowed on market animals. No horns allowed on goats or no horns allowed on lambs. If it is a breeding animal, now we're talking about breeding, they can have horns, and I'll talk more about the breeding side in a minute, but no horns. A rule that's been implemented for the last couple of years is no clipping in the barn. The clipping will be able to be done either under the west stands, as long as you clean up. If I find out that you haven't cleaned up, you're going to be imposed a penalty. You must also clean up behind the barn. Any wool, any clippings, any stuff, no trash, it all needs to be picked up and cleaned up. So all the clipping will be done outside of the barn. The only thing that we'll allow inside the barn is for you to set your stand up in your stall, not in the aisleway. We don't want any traffic in the aisleway being impeded by stands or clippers or blowers. So you can do very minor clippings inside of the stall. And when I say minor, I mean maybe some touch up on the leg, maybe a touch up on the ear, something of that nature. If we find out that you've got the big clippers out or any clippers out clipping wool in that stall, you're going to be asked to leave. That is a mandatory thing. We are not going to let you do that. And we're going to have people checking. Please don't set your stands up in the aisle. You have a stall that you can put it in, even if it's with your animal. My daughter showed for years, and I know we used to put our stands right inside of the stall with our animals. It was pretty easy. So I know you can do that. Please make sure you do that. The final summary page is due the night you check in. It's at 9 o'clock. We close the barn at 9 o'clock on that first night after we check in, and we expect the pages to be turned in by then. You have your weights. Please make sure you bring your pages with all your information on it. I know that we don't have a way to look up your information on your final page, so bring one with you. Bring a copy, and then you can plug it in and turn it in, and it's due by 9 o'clock that night. Again, the barn will close at 9 o'clock, so everybody needs to be out of there by 9. As you know, we have our mandatory meeting right after our final weigh-in, and it is mandatory. We give out your packets. Your packets have your armbands in it and your back tag. If you don't pick up that night, that will indicate that you did not come to the mandatory meeting. And if you come to pick that up, which you'll have to, because you're going to have your armband and your back tag, when you come to pick that up, you will be imposed a penalty. So don't let that happen. That will tell me you did not come to the mandatory meeting. Again, it's mandatory. Please come. The breeding show. This year we have a new rule. There are no leased animals allowed in the breeding show. No leased animals for goats or lambs. That has been a very, very small number of people, and unfortunately some of those people have abused that, and we've decided to take that out of the show completely. And I apologize to the people that didn't abuse it, but because it was a small number and we were getting some abuse, we've decided we're not going to do that again. And so no leased animals for goats or lambs. If you have a market ewe and you want the market ewe to be also in the breeding show, which I highly encourage you do, you will need to do a separate entry during the November 4th through 18th period. So please remember, it doesn't automatically go into the breeding show unless you do an entry. So please make sure you do your entry. And then lastly, about the horns on the breeding animals. You can have horns on your goats, your breeding goats, and then there can be some horns on your lambs as well. Typically they don't have them, but we will make the exception for that. That's not a problem. But just remember, on the market you cannot.
Now I have some questions for you.
Okay. What is your history with the Southeastern Youth Fair, and why do you volunteer as a show chairwoman? Well, my daughter showed lambs and goats, which has been a very long time ago, and she did it an entire time from 8 years old till she was a senior in high school. And I enjoyed it so much. I enjoyed working with the other members of the committee. When I was asked to do it, I was thrilled to do it. And so many years of this. And I'm also a member of not only the board for the youth fair, but the executive board. And that's my history.
Wonderful.
What is your favorite thing about the lamb and goat show, and what's your favorite thing about the Southeastern Youth Fair? My favorite thing about the lamb and goat show is the fact that it has grown, and it is so much a class show with really exemplary animals, and the kids, the way they show has just been incredible. I would classify our show as probably one of the best in the entire state, with both the animal quality and the kids and the way that they show. So that's what I really love about it. The favorite thing about the Southeastern Youth Fair is the fact that we provide these kids with phenomenal buyers in the way that they can, our prices have gone up every single year. The way that the kids can, continue to get good prices, and they learn the process of how to raise an animal, be responsible for them, and or if they aren't even showing animals, the things that they show in other areas. It just gives them responsibility, and I think that's something that all kids need to learn over time. Okay, what is the biggest piece of advice you would give each parent watching this? Okay, well, I can definitely relate to that. Obviously, my child showed for years, and I was really involved with her. I read the rules. I sat down with her. I helped her with her record book until she could do it herself. And the biggest piece of advice I'd give you is to be present. Be there with them. Help them. Ask them if they need help. Ask them if you can help. Some of them don't want your help, but my biggest piece of advice is to be present with them and help them through it. And it'll be memories that you have built over the years. And it's memories that I cherish and my daughter still cherishes. And I think you would also feel the same way if you do that. If you had one message to give every first-time exhibitor, what would it be? Okay, that's easy. Don't have expectations. Go in there and just have fun and learn and be observant. You're probably not going to win the first year. And so this is your first time. You're going to learn, you're going to observe, you're going to go in there and watch the seniors do their showmanship, and it's going to help you to do better. And just enjoy it and have fun. Don't really get upset about your animal not placing high in there. This is your first year. Enjoy it. Have a good time with it. That's my definite advice for you. What's your message to every senior about their last year showing? Make the most of it. Make the most of it. And again, enjoy it. Don't take it too seriously. It's your last year. Have good times with your friends and make the most of your final year. All right. That's it. So I wish everybody the best of luck. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to call me. Obviously, you can call Sarah in the office, and she'll relay those messages to me as well. But my phone number, again, is on the website. So I look forward to hearing from you. Good luck.
Trusting our wings to fly.